In this presentation, we're going to talk about factors that may impact the quality of discussions in an online course. You have probably had many rich interaction experiences in social media on Facebook, YouTube, WeChat, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. What is memorable about these interactions? Sometimes online courses fail to create that kind of experience. Why? Well, it is not always possible or desirable to accomplish the same, but it is fairly important to make online discussions effective. Good interaction is one of the key things that set a good course apart from others. Let's think about the purposes of online discussion. We can probably use 5 C's to summarize that. First, community. With interaction, you build relationships, you create a sense of community. But the reverse is also true. Without a sense of community, interaction will not be very active. Second, well-designed interaction helps the efficiency of communication. You may need to reach out to students sometimes by using email. You endure all the hassle of getting email addresses lined up, email to everyone, then organize their responses into folders by semester, by course, and it can be a very ineffective and tedious process. Think of using a forum or announcement for that purpose. A new tool may save you trouble and time. Third, collaboration. You can use group discussion to facilitate group work. Yes, group work does not just happen when people meet. It is possible to do so online as well. Fourth, content. Some content can be shared from you to students in discussions or shared by students in discussions. Fifth, control. Interaction allows you to get the pulse of the class so that you know how students to learn. It gives you control of the pace, sequence, and methods of teaching. Now let's analyze a discussion a little bit. What does a good discussion entail? I listed 5 elements. At the top is you, the facilitator. At the base you have students. Then you have questions and technology. The centerpiece is the contract or the agreement you made with the students. Start with questions. The questions you ask in the prompt should be tied to the purposes of your teaching at the time. Use Bloom's taxonomy as a guide. You probably will not get a very deep discussion if you ask questions that lead to oversimplified yes or no answers. Try varying the way you ask the questions to get some good answers. Here is a list of questions you may want to think about. Ask, for instance, what-if questions to get students to apply their learning. Ask comparison questions for finer distinction. Some questions, in order to be open-ended, can also be intentionally vague. For instance, what do you think of? What is the meaning of something? Now let's look at the students. What do they do online? American journalist and investor Esther Dyson once said in an interview with Time magazine that the internet is like alcohol in some sense. It accentuates what you would do anyway. If you want to be a loner, you can be more alone. If you want to connect, it makes it easier to connect. It is a fairly good description for online learners as well. I like to compare online students to Chinese zodiacs. You have mouse types who will find holes. You have ox types who really do their work and a lot of it. You have intimidating bullying tigers to watch out for. You have dragons who drift away to a land far, far away, or they leave the topic you assign. Then you have lurching snakes who do not say anything, but they may be watching others discuss. You have active monkeys and time-sensitive roosters. You have guiding dog types and rabbits who hop on from one topic to the next. Then you have sheep-like newbies and deceptively simple pigs whose responses may catch all of us by surprise. Knowing student behavior types will empower you to use corresponding facilitation strategies. For instance, by giving cues to prompt inactive students and some friendly reminders for those who risk saying things irrelevant to discussions. As a facilitator, you do these 4 things. You respond, you set a role model by responding frequently and timely to posts. You control, you manage the availability of posts, you guide students to stay on the right track, you guide them to probe deeper or explore more widely in the topic that you assign. You monitor, you check if people are participating the way you anticipate them to participate. Contracts are the written agreements about your expectations for discussions. For instance, what do you want students to get from the discussions? Whether and how is the discussion graded? Will you use some rubrics? Are students supposed to comment on each other's posts? What kind of responses are not encouraged? Is there a time frame for discussions? Will discussions be locked after certain dates? How are they supposed to behave? Questions like this should be stated in your instructions, either in the syllabus for all discussions or for specific ones. Now on to technologies. Here are a few questions to ask. What tools will you use? How to create a discussion post? Where to put a discussion post? How to set release criteria? How to lock topics? How to make discussion anonymous? Is it better to let everyone see every post from the beginning, or do you want them to post their own posts before others are revealed to them? In terms of technology, also remember you can grade discussion posts. You can use rubrics to grade discussions. This may hold students responsible for quality contribution in the discussion process. These are a few ideas of creating and managing online discussions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thank you so much for watching.